keynote speaker. She's also a proud mama of 5, an entrepreneur on a mission to revolutionize the happily ever after by disrupting the way people live and love by educating, entertaining, and empowering women to be feminine, healed, and emotionally intelligent. Without further ado, the floor is yours.
I hate to admit this in a room full of 1% athletes and top tier women, but when I got invited to do this event, I was a yes. Motivational speaking, opportunity to talk, love it, I'm all in. And then I saw it was a contest. And I was like, okay, well, let me think about it. And all the excuses came running in, and I had to deal with the kids and get a babysitter, and all of a sudden, all the excuses. It's like, when you get invited to a wedding, you're like, we'll be there, you figure it out. But when you get invited to somewhere where you're not really sure, you have all the excuses lined out, and you like give them the no before you give them the no. And that's what I did. But when I was sitting with it, I was like, how can I say that I want to revolutionize anything? And I backed down out of fear of possibly losing or possibly looking bad or looking a certain type of way. And so I started thinking about it. And I started thinking, what is motivation? You don't wait to feel motivated to get in the game. You get in the game to get back motivated. And so that's what I did. I was like, I called up Barbara and I'm like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Because I didn't feel like I was worthy to stand in front of this room and motivate you guys when I don't feel motivated in my life right now. And I felt like, who am I to stand there? And when I dug underneath it and I really looked at the definition of motivation, it's a desire or a willingness to do something. Essentially, it's a choice. And when I look at all the athletes in here, or people you guys have all had a success of some sort, you don't become successful because you feel like doing it. I watch my brother in quarantine setting alarms to eat, eating the same meal so he can keep his weight, that kind of dedication. You don't do that just because you feel like it. You do it because your vision is bigger than your fear. And he had that goal, right? And so when I looked at mine, I'm like, my goal is to speak around the world. I've got to face those fears. So I got in the game, and I really just, I'm like having a brain fart because I'm just so emotional about it. But I really just said, I get to be motivated, and I get to be there. And whenever you're unmotivated, you're procrastinating, you're avoiding, you're inconsistent with something you want to actually do, that there's a reason. There's either a fear or a limiting belief. And I really just want to encourage you to not go listen to just a podcast and get raw fired up, but really dig underneath, what am I afraid of? And I was afraid of being judged. I was being afraid that she's not even married to an NFL player anymore. Why is she still going to Super Bowl? I was afraid of losing because, God forbid, I give my husband a reason to that's what you get, shouldn't even have been there. I was afraid of looking like bad. I was afraid of just all the little judgments and rejections, right? And then I was like, you know what? I have a mission, and if I can impact one person in that room, if I can just get practice to speak and get the butterflies, if I could face this room, I could face the world, because I had so much fear to be here. And so I just buckled down, and I'm like, I'm gonna do it. And so my invitation to everybody in this room is, whenever you're feeling uninspired, unmotivated, you don't feel like doing whatever that thing you really know you're supposed to be doing, just dig underneath it and ask yourself, what am I afraid of? What is the limiting belief that I'm not worthy or I'm not enough to be there? And then I want you to just do the 3 things that I did. It was manage my mind, just overcome that fear and just go for it. It was make a move. I just called Barbara. I'm like, I'll figure it out. I asked a friend if I could stay at her house. I borrowed money to get my plane ticket. My friend is an Eagles fan, so I'm like, can I drive home with you guys? And I got resourceful, because that's what we do when we're actually committed. And I showed up, I got compliments on my $30 Zara outfit. Like, I just made it happen. But because I'm losing from the inside out, it's like I'm showing up, right? And so that's my invitation, is to do the 3 things. And the last one is to match the vibe of where you're going. Act as if, show up as if it's already done. Because if I want to change the world, I got to start today. I got to act like I feel like changing it today, or act like I want to, even if I don't feel like it. So thank you.